Oh, welcome back. It's been a couple weeks, maybe a little bit longer since I've done a video. So I'm just driving back home from an appointment. Well, blood work, not really an appointment. Thought I would turn the camera on and see what came to my mind. It's funny when you do some of these, when you have ideas, the ideas kind of just fade away right when you get the camera out, right? And kind of get in your own thought while you're driving and I turned the camera on and thought goes out the window. So thought I would see what comes to my mind. Obviously I'm 8 weeks post surgery. I think the first video I did was maybe 4 weeks or so. Comes an ambulance right now. I had pulmonary embolism, ended back up in the hospital. I think I've told you guys that. And I'm back to work, trying to finish up some stuff where I left off. It's nice to be back in a routine. I kind of developed a really good routine when I was off, almost to the point where I wish I could have just maintained that, right? So the routine is pretty simple. Generally, wake up early in the morning, have some coffee, go walking, treadmill, go to the gym, potentially. Started going back to the gym about 3 weeks ago. Things are going pretty well there. So just have to deal with it the best we can here. But yeah, things are going well. But the routine, they got in a good routine. I'd get the e-bike out, and I would e-bike all around the town I live in, run some errands, do my sim racing videos, edit videos, etc. Whatever's needed at that day. Stayed busy with that. Stayed busy to the point of almost kind of treating that like my own job. So yeah, so it's been good. But getting back to work's nice too. I'm glad to be back into a routine. It's a little bit more concrete, I guess is the right answer. And gosh, this traffic. I don't know how people do videos while they're driving sometimes, because you just gotta watch out for everybody all the time, which is a good thing. But totally removed myself from the dating market. Definitely understood there. Don't really see any need or value in it at this point in my time in my life. So decided to kind of pull out. Now, if I meet somebody organically, like I've said that before, that's one thing. But I'm not really actively pursuing anything. I've never had any good success with, DMing and messaging and things. But I've contemplated some different things here of late, of even with some of my hobbies, like the boating and stuff that I do, and I do enjoy it, but it is work, right? Unlike golf, where you want to go out and play golf on a good weekend, boating is like, well, I should get the boat out, right? So had some offers on that, so maybe I'll sell it, maybe not. I'm gonna try to enjoy it here the next couple of days. But I do have, again, kind of circling this back around, going back to work for 5 weeks. I got a little bit of my summer back, in between appointments, blood work, low blood counts, fatigue. I don't think I'm going to increase sorry, that guy was coming in, but I don't think I'm going to increase anything at this time from a workout standpoint. So 3 days a week's good, full body, so I'm getting a good workout. I have up my cardio, where even on my off days I'm getting up and I'm walking. Again, I've lost quite a bit of weight from the surgery, and I'm getting quite a bit of it back, but I kind of like the weight that I'm at. as long as I could stay toned or get a little bit more toned up, heading into transplant, which the date for admission into the hospital is July 30th. So right now, roughly, I don't know, 5 weeks. If you're watching this, it's end of June where we're at now. So I'm a little reluctant with that. I was nervous for the surgery, right? Like anybody would be, but I'm almost a little bit more nervous for the transplant, right? Because there's a lot more room for error, different factors that could be involved during the process. But be admitted on the 30th, chemo on the 30th, full body radiation, some more chemo, get my counts down, accept my new donor cells for the bone marrow, and then it's a waiting game. It's going to be 30 days in the hospital, at least 25, 30 days. And I'm contemplating on staying at this Hope Lodge out by side the hospital for another 20 to 30 days to make sure everything is, on the up and up, for lack of a better term, right? So, but kind of makes sense, right? You want your blood counts to come back up, but you don't want them to be elevated, right? You want to go hopefully back to normal, and essentially I'd be cured, right? Now I might have to be on a low dose blood thinner, maybe not. I will have to continue to do the scoping just because of the clot that will not go away in my portal vein, but without the spleen, some of that shouldn't be a great big factor, and I shouldn't have to do it as frequently. Now, my lifestyle is going to still maintain the same, right? I quit drinking 5 years ago because of this, because of the varices, and I don't think I'll ever go back to drinking. Now, I do enjoy a good glass of bourbon here and there, but as time went on and going out and drinking, I can go out and have a good enough time without drinking. I've learned to do that and I've adapted that. So I think that's just a little bit healthier at this point in my life, in your late 30s, you know. And again, hopefully, after that, I can kind of sneak back into the dating field. But then again, like I've said, it's definitely saved me a lot of money and time that I've used for other areas. I've definitely adequated my time and more important things and more pleasurable things. I'm definitely in that Delta male. I don't think I'll ever be a beta or an alpha. I'm just kind of a guy, right? I make good money, but not extremely good money. I am a little bit above average height. I have good body fat, BMI, right? But I'm not like so ripped that you can just constantly see my abs, right? So I'm always just above average and everything, but standards are just getting so high that it's completely ridiculous because of the amount of attention one receives from the opposite sex, that to be able to stand out and have them stick around long enough to figure out what kind of value you bring doesn't go away, right? You have to have that initial attraction, obviously, first, and then of course long term there's other things that come into factor, but that initial attraction seems to be lacking to the point of I don't even feel like approaching because I've been shot down so many times, or I haven't been given enough, I guess, signs of interest from them to feel comfortable approaching, even though I have. Even when the signs weren't there, it hasn't really always ended in a good result. I've probably batting 2 for 10, on cold approach like that, but definitely not on my radar. My radar right now is my health, my family, and other hobbies. So hopefully I will be able to golf this week as a sub for one of the golf leagues. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been able to do that in a long while, so that's good. So things are looking up. Look forward to the rest of summer. Getting mentally and physically prepared for transplant, and taking life as it comes. Don't worry about the things you can control, and only worry and try to change the things that is in your exact control. And the cards and the chips lay where they land, and see what happens. So um, that's really all I got on my mind right now. It's one of those things where I thought I maybe had more, and I do. And you're laying in bed at night, or you're listening to something else, and you get the wheels turning, things kind of come. And I do a very poor job of writing anything down when it comes to that. But that's kind of my life update right now. If you want to give me a like, a follow, subscribe, comment, please do so. If not, I'll see you again in another video. Thanks.